Hey, what's up? It's me, Elay, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Reppin' Saginaw, Michigan, not Saginaw, Texas. I'm reppin' Saginaw, Michigan, not Saginaw, Texas 989. And you are now listening to LA TV 2, ELAY TV, TWO. And this subject I'm talking about today is single black mom. Single black mom, single black female, single black parent, single parent home. Definition: single parent families are families with children under age 18 headed by a parent who is widowed or divorced or not married, or by a parent who has never married. I typed in single parent home right into Google, and that's the definition I got. Under the people also ask header, definition: single parent families are families with children under age 18 headed by a parent who is widowed or divorced, not married, or by a parent who has never married. What is considered a single parent? It says, if your child's father is emotionally, physically, or financially available to their child, you are not a single mother. You are a single woman. But while their feelings are extremely valid, any mom who is doing more than her fair share of 50% of a two-person job should be considered a single mother. I'm going to read that again, because after I typed in the Google search bar, single parent home, there was another box that came up. People also ask, what is a single parent household? I just went over that definition twice, and then right under that box was another drop down box with a question that said, what is considered a single parent? What is considered a single parent? And it quotes here, if your child's father is emotionally, physically, or financially available to their child, you are not a single mother. You are a single woman. But while their feelings are extremely valid, any mom who is doing more than her fair share of 50% of a two-person job should be considered a single mother. Beautiful. Just having read that second depiction, I'm thinking that's the right word I'm supposed to say there. That alone can be another separate video within itself. I'm feeling that. I need to read it again because sometimes I don't think it's clear enough from what I've been seeing. If your child's father is emotionally, physically, or financially available to their child, if your child's father is emotionally, physically, or financially available to their child, you are not a single mother. You are a single woman. But while their feelings are extremely valid, comma, any mom, and they put that in bold, who is doing more than her fair share of 50% of a two-person job should be considered a single mother. Amen. Amen and amen. Let us close our Bibles as we proceed to have the procession call for everyone to come. The doors of the church are now open. I repeat, the doors of the church are now open. As I pretend to be Cat Williams and try to use this voice, now the doors of the church are now open. Church is now over, and I have read all I could. There is nothing more to say here. I am spent. Man. So, single black mom. I lived on 644 South Warren Street, Saginaw, Michigan 48601, in a tall apartment house that was cut off into 3 apartments. I lived upstairs with my mom and my older sister. My little sister wasn't born until 94. Late 93, 94. So at that time it was just us 3. And all I knew was my mom and her sisters. All I knew was my mom and her sisters. That's who we were around the most. My mom was not married. My dad was hit or miss. And I loved it that way. I didn't need to see him every day. I didn't want him around every day. I loved the world and the environment and the circle that my mom presented for us and provided for us. When it was just us three, I could feel that my mom was proud. I could feel that my mom loved, even though she didn't really show up physically. Like, I don't remember getting a lot of hugs or anything like that, but I could feel my mom's love. So I didn't need a hug for that, you know. I could feel it then. I saw my mom was always busy, was always on the go. My mom was lean, fit, in shape. We didn't have a lot of clothes, but the clothes she did have on, she took care of, and they complimented her well, you know. She looked good. Her hair touched to the tops of her shoulders. My mom, to me, had it going on, you know. And we were piss poor. I mean, poor beyond all reasons. But I didn't care. I could feel my mom's love. She tried so hard, and, you know, she really did. So life was good without the presence of our father being there all the time. Dun dun dun. Step 1 to single parent families, according to me, how my life was paved out. My mom's sisters, there were 3. So yeah, there were an additional 3. So out of those additional 3, only 1 was married. So altogether, my mom included a set of 4 sisters, okay? And out of all of them, 1 was married. Now, to my knowledge, they were married because they were always together, and I really think they were married. I'm not saying any names. I'm doing my best not to say any names, but growing up, I thought they were married. So out of the 4, 1 was married. The other one, the other aunt, the guy did her dirty, and that's when I first pretty much learned the term did her dirty, did someone dirt, or just dogged her out. I heard the word dogged out a lot, and I didn't know what that meant, but the tone that they said, it didn't sound good, it didn't sound sturdy, it didn't sound clean. It made me worry for my aunt, because my aunt was so nice, and oh my gosh, she was so nice, man. And she has such a funny laugh. I love her laugh. She oh my gosh, she has such a goofy laugh. So in my head, I'm like, how could somebody be mean to her? And she's a good hairstylist. She like do braids and stuff. Oh my gosh, I don't know how she can braid so teeny. My fingers cramp up so easily. I can't do that stuff. And I don't like to say can't all the time because it's a limitation. I really struggle with doing micro braids. My fingers lock up on me so tough. But in my head, I'm like, how could a man be so mean to her? She is such a sweet lady, and she had at least 3 kids by then, by that one guy. I'm thinking, oh man. And the kids were adorable to me. They were older than me. They were like about my sister's age, so probably middle school. You know, middle schoolers getting ready to go to high school. They weren't wild and bad to me. They just seemed like the typical teens who had maybe a little too much freedom, but they weren't out of control in my standards. I really thought they were cool. I thought they talked funny, and they all shared their mother's glorious laugh. But their father wasn't in their life, and I could tell when I was around them, when the sisters talked amongst themselves, how my aunt was hurt because of that. She seemed bitter in a way. Just bitter. Not bitter like a woman scorned bitter, but like bitter. For example, you win a feast to a dinner, and the food looks great, and you dress up for it, and you prepare for it, and you just know it's going to be good because everyone else had the same dinner you got invited to, but on your turn, you bite into the food and it's old, but on the outside it looks great. it kills the moment because the feast was around the food. The feast was surrounded and based upon the food. So it's like, man, dang. You know, kind of like that. That's the kind of bitter I was feeling for her. And I didn't like that feeling hanging over her. But as a child, I knew it wasn't my place to talk about it. I lived in my head so much. It was pathetic in a way because I just couldn't get my voice out there to talk. Either it was too much, it wasn't enough time, or I just really didn't, I felt hesitant, severely hesitant to talk about things. It was easier to just stay in my own thoughts and observe. But I didn't like that feeling. My other aunt, she's just as cool and such a goofy lady, and she too has a distinctive laugh. Oh my gosh, I think I laugh more like her. She's such a goofball. I love her too. I love her to life as well. And the guy she was with was in and out too, popping in and out. And I couldn't stand that neither, because one day he's there, one day he's not. One day he's back in town, one day he's not. And it's like question mark. You know, you get so excited, because I was excited to see him too, because the guy's just really darn cool. You know, but at the same time, it got taxing, because it's like you get so excited and then the next day you're gone. Don't even know when you're coming back. I feel what women mean. Don't just pop in and out. Don't just pop in and out. It's very stressful. It can make you sick physically. Physically first more than mentally. Well, I'm speaking out of experience, but I just didn't understand. It was like a disease. A cringy disease. How could you just pop in and out like that? This woman is really trying to hold it together on her own, raising one teenage child, struggling, but just like my mom, still loving life, still happy, you know, still got it together, still holding on to faith, keeping the fight, you know, just trying to be the best her she could, while there was no support really, you know. It's just observing that just made it ingrained more into my skin that I don't know what having a father around is for. So I was living on 644 South Warren Street, Saginaw, Michigan 48601. I went to preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. So I think when you're in pre-K, you're like 5 years old, 5 to 6. So, you know, that's when I was remembering stuff the most. So let's just say from pre-K to first grade, so 5 to, I guess, 7 years old, that's the age range, I picked up a lot and a lot stuck. So unfortunately, when you are a child, you desperately have to be careful and aware of what you bring around your children, because they absorb it like a sponge, and this stays forever. First impressions, like all the way around. First impressions on anything, first impressions on life, first impressions on getting lessons about life seem to stick. Well, they stuck hard with me, and it was hard to shake. So in just those 2 years, I was already damaged in my point of view, wondering what's a dad for. I know my dad's my dad, and that's good enough for me. He really don't have to be around, because he's not doing anything from what I can see, and seems when they come around, they just make life worse. They pick you up and tear you down when they leave. I don't need that pickup. I like the way things are, straight running without you being around. We're happy just the way we are. Don't keep coming in and out, because you're not doing us any favors by doing that. It's sickening and disgusting, especially if you know you got it like that and you can just pop in and out and she'll be happy. I'm trying to look at all the perspectives and all the dynamics of why a man would do that. Because from my point of view, my aunts and my mom weren't pushing these men away. They were not like one of them chicks, oh, you can't be around my kids. Just give me my GD, child support money, and get the F on. None of them were like that. They wanted the men to be around. These men just weren't. You hear me? I said they wanted the men to be around. They weren't like, just give me my effing child support money and get the HO and you never seen your child again. I didn't see see anything like that or hear anything like that. So I'm like, why in the what would they not want to be around? Oh, because they probably really didn't want that responsibility. And just seeing the excitement of how everybody received them when they came was just enough for him, and he thought it was enough for them. Bingo, but it wasn't. Definition: single parent families are families with children under age 18 headed by a parent who is widowed or divorced and not married, or by a parent who has never married. If your child's father is emotionally, physically, or financially available to their child, you are not a single mother. You are a single woman. But while their feelings are extremely valid, any mom who is doing more than her fair share of 50% of a two-person job, more than 50% of a two-person job should be considered a single mom. So I grew up between the tender age of pre-cal all the way through first, already assuming that being married may not be my ticket, because it don't seem like it's working everywhere I turn. These are the seeds that are planted in a lot of kids, unfortunately, where they get older and have children of their own, where being a single mother is not so bad. It just seems better that way, because growing up maybe it was better that way, you know. So I'm going to end it here and let this just be part one of what I've been talking about. This is me, Elay, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy, repping Saginaw, Michigan, not Saginaw, Texas. Repping Saginaw, Michigan, not Saginaw, Texas. And this concludes part one of Single Black Mom. Thank you for watching and listening to LA TV Tube. Please feel free to like and subscribe to my LA TV. That's my first and original TV platform, and my other one, Team Funko We Got the Funk. It is a novelty type of YouTube channel. It's childlike. So if you have kids, you know, definitely get them to that one. I'll have the @ down there so you can quickly get to those channels too. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.